morning got me fired up. I believe that you are where you are because it's where you choose to be. It took me a week maybe to learn the presentation. 1 week. I got licensed when I was 18 years old. And just thank God first and foremost for the interaction that he exposed me to with Samir. And I mean, look at all this. You know why his income is where he is? Because he could have lived a comfortable life as a single bachelor at $250,000. I mean, I saw it. I lived with him. So he just never stopped improving. Guys, if you look, skills pay the bills, right? So in the Bible it says, ask and you shall receive. You have not because you ask not. I think it says in the Bible too, you've got to become an asshole. Okay? Somewhere in there. And so most people think that in sales and in business you have to be a really good talker. When in reality, and look, this is what we've been doing in our practice, drill, rehearse, PDR sessions at 8 a.m. this entire week. At the end of our PDR sessions, we study Tom Hopkins. And Tom Hopkins, you guys should look into a book called How to Master the Art of Selling Anything. But he has an audio cassette tape that we're studying one cassette at a time. You know what a cassette is? No, he's on my team. My whole team is pretty young, but we're studying one cassette at a time, and one thing we've been looking into is reflexive questions, positive stimulus responses gained from asking the right what? Questions. So one thing he talks about, he'll say, hey gang, how many, because think of your senses, right? A positive stimulus response is based on, 5 senses. Well, you have 1 mouth and 2 ears, and your job is to use them proportionately. You don't need to be a great talker, you need to be a great question asker. And so if you can learn the skills, the art of asking questions, really good questions, you can get any result that you're looking for, assuming you've got good work ethic, right? But it doesn't happen overnight, right? It could happen in 1 week, it just doesn't happen overnight. Repetition is the mother of learning. So for just my team, Team Infinite, I'm gonna ask for you guys to take your cell phone out. And I want you to go to the Memos app on your phone and start recording now. When you ask good questions, you get good results. There's 4 stages to learning anything, okay? The first stage is unconsciously incompetent. And what this means is you are not very good at doing something and you don't even know it. Someone's got to come along and tell you, hey buddy, you got some work to do, you're not very good at this thing. All of a sudden you're aware of it now, right? When you raise your level of awareness, you can start to make changes and adjustments, and that leads to stage number 2 of learning anything, mastering anything, which is consciously incompetent, which means you're not very good, but hey, at least you know now and you're making an effort to get better each and every day. And the more you do it, consistency is everything, right? Showing up is everything. It leads to stage 3, which is consciously competent, which means you're good now, you're actually getting results, but you really have to try. And the more you keep doing it, just like compound interest, time and consistency is the thing that gets you to stage 4, which is mastery level. It's unconsciously competent. It means you're really, really good, but you don't even have to think about it. You don't even have to try. So, raise your hand if you have been out and about and you see someone sharp and you know that they could be a really good fit for this business, but you get a little nervous, clam up, and that person walks away and you never talk to them. Raise your hand. Come on, the rest of you liars. Come on. Okay. Raise your hand if you've gotten someone into the office, okay, and you're interviewing them or you're following up with them for some reason, and you freeze because you don't know what to say. Raise your hand. Okay. What we're going to go over today is exactly what to ask to get thought-provoking answers that lead to really good results in the area of recruiting. Yes, your why is step one and the most important thing that you can work on in this business. Your why. Why did you show up today? Why did you sign your IBA? Why are you sacrificing? But then it's like, okay, what do I say though, Josh? Can you teach me what to say? That's all my guys say, right, Thomas? Teach me what to say. Well, hey, I'm not going to teach you what to say. I'm going to teach you what to ask. All right. First, it starts with a perspective on recruiting, okay? It is a mindset. I got introduced to Samir when I was 18, so I've never earned a salary. I don't know what that's like, and I'm so grateful for that because I think I was just predisposed for winning in the recruiting section. You got to look at recruiting as though it's easy. Why? Because everyone wants an opportunity, good job or not. They want to get out of the expense column and into the assets and profits column. That's why it's easy, but I believe that. You have to believe it. You have to internalize it. There's 6 degrees of separation. You're one recruit away, you're one good week of activity away from getting introduced to someone that will come in and explode your business. We saw somebody at convention click over $1 million of income that came and spoke for our hierarchy in 2017 when he was a little bit below Samir's income. Now he's clicked over $1 million of income. Why? I mean, there's a lot of reasons why, but he has a guy under him who did 100,000 personal in 1 month. And I checked his Instagram. The guy has 200,000 followers on his Instagram. Wouldn't you like to recruit someone that has 200,000 followers on his Instagram and can get 100 sales by themselves? Right? Well, there's a lot of things that went into that, but he understood he was 6 contacts, 6 moves away from finding the right person. It's the lifeblood of your business. If you do not have recruiting going in your business is dying. You have to believe that. However much you are prospecting daily, and I'm talking to myself when I say this. When I made this, I was literally thinking what I need to tell myself, which in turn you guys should hear as well. I know that I need to 10x my daily prospecting activity to get the results that I'm looking for by next convention, which is all we're talking about in my office right now. The answers are in the questions. That's a book, by the way. The answers are in the questions. You got to be like Curious George, okay? So here's where it starts. You can walk up to anybody and tell them that they look pretty sharp, and you had a quick question. You say, hey, what do you do for work, out of curiosity? I did it at Target this morning. Just this morning. I asked the lady that I was buying something from, how long have you worked here at Target? You gotta be curious, man. You have to want to know more about people. Do you love what you do? Can you see yourself retiring here? What a great question. Can you see yourself retiring here at this job? What made you get into this industry? It's a thought-provoking question. There's a lot of folks that just get into menial jobs right out of college because they couldn't find another better job. I think I heard a statistic the other day that like 60 to 70% of college graduates find jobs outside of the thing they got their degree in. It's like, why did you go to college in the first place? You know you spent like $100,000-$200,000 at that joint?
Right.
You know college debt is the one debt you can't declare bankruptcy from, and you could maybe get money back, but you can't get time back. You lost 4 years, some people 5, 6 years, 8 years. What made you get into this industry that you're in right now? Well, there's a 60 to 70% chance the answer is it's the best job I could find at the time. But I'm gonna ask it, if you had 2 things that you like and 2 things you would change about your current job, what would they be and why? There's a phrase that I learned from a guy named Grant Cardone. He said, I'm going to collect some data so I can use it later. That's what's happening when we're asking questions, by the way, guys. We don't just ask questions for no reason. When you're building rapport in the KT, when you're meeting with clients, you know, yes, you're looking to establish a relationship, make nice with them, make them your friend, right? People only do business with people they like and trust. Yes, but in the process, these questions are important that we're asking because we're collecting data that we're going to use later. If you have the 2 that you like and leave the 2 that you dislike, would you explore that opportunity? More questions. This is just the rest of the training, by the way. It's just a lot of variations of questions so that when you guys go out this week, which is month end, by the way, Team Infinite, when you guys go out and prospect this week, in Instagram, out and about, on the phone with resumes. You guys should have heard Thomas's first phone call calling resumes. That was amazing. Is that the first point?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever considered picking up a second income in this economy? By the way, I found this PowerPoint. I made it in 2021. I just adjusted and added a couple questions. It's just so crazy that the same questions I wrote back then are they're not just what's the word? They're not just relevant, you know, to today's day and age. They're even more relevant than they ever have been before today. With inflation so high, wouldn't it make sense to consider a second income? But you hear that? Wouldn't it? It's a certain sense of assumptiveness in your question, eliciting the answer that you want. If you could work from home and make your own schedule, would you consider a part-time role or a career change, perhaps? Have you ever thought about being your own boss? Dude, how often do you ask people that one question right there? Have you ever thought of being your own boss? If it were between someone else writing your checks every 2 weeks versus you writing your checks every 2 weeks, who would you prefer if you actually had that choice? How often do you get paid? And if it could be more frequently, would you prefer that? If I could show you how to match your full-time income part-time, would you like to explore that, Sheila? Did she match her part-time income? I mean her full-time income part-time? She exceeded it. We have examples of that. You have to tell other people that's possible. They don't think that's possible. But with really good what? Questions, you can do that. Next. Okay. Are you saving all that you possibly could on your current income? What was the story that Samir just told? He spoke to a guy that makes the magic number, 6 figures per year. That's the time. The magic 6, I'll hurry up. But yeah, he wants to make more money. So he's making 6 figures a year and is looking to make more money. There's a reason for that. What's your current FIN number? Do you even know what a FIN number is? Will you reach it on your current income? If so, when would that happen? And are you happy with that result? There's 4 ways to make money. Did you know that? Did you know there's 4 different ways to make money? Do you know what they are? Then go over it with them. Employee, working for yourselves, people working for you, money working for you. Which would you prefer after seeing those options? Did you choose your career field out of necessity or desire? What is your actual peak income desire? And I might add something on there. Do you have any chance of doing that at your current job? Look at your boss. Do you want your boss's lifestyle? Do you want your boss's stress? Do you enjoy traveling? How often do you get to do that with your current job? What would most people say? Once a year?
Yeah.
Maybe? We pay for your licenses in this industry and we'll provide all the training. With that being said, is there any reason you wouldn't at least give it a try? Have you ever considered there's more to life than just working for someone else? What happens to most after they retire? Can they pass down anything to their kids when they've just worked 40 years at a job? Most people would say no. Would you like to change that? How important is ownership to you? Being as though we're entering, I love this. Being as though we're entering into a recession, wouldn't it make sense to consider a recession-proof industry? Now you guys can ask, wouldn't it make sense to enter a pandemic-proof industry? How important is security to your household? If we can improve that, would you like to explore that? Listen, if you can gain 20 to 40 hours back into your life, what would that be like? It exited out of the last slide, but can we get that up just for a picture? I added this because it was something I was thinking about. Do you wake up excited most days to go to your job? Do you feel you're reaching your full God-given potential at this current job? Have you ever felt overworked and underpaid? What is your plan to get out of that situation? What is your plan to get out of it? What would most people say? I don't have a plan. How much would your lifestyle change if you doubled your income? If you could impact another family's life, are you the type of person that wants to do that? Would you agree that money is a top concern in most Americans' minds? If you could help teach people how to improve that, would you want to learn how to do that? This is the last question, guys, that I ask every interview I do. And usually after this is when I close the IBA. This is the very last question. If I provide you with all the resources and commit my time to helping you win in this industry, would you like to come and get licensed with my firm? Thank you so much, guys. Hopefully this helps.